to the pool. No fixed odds, the crowd makes the rules. Watch it shift, every second alive. Shared belief decides the prize. Lights go down, the race begins. All that matters, where you stand within. This is Parimutuel. One pool, one flow. Winners rise together. That's how we roll.
G-Markets, G-Markets, guys. Welcome everybody to another exciting community. We have Ryan, we have Miss Jules. Hey Ryan, hey Miss Jules, how are you guys doing?
G-Market guys, G-Market Ryan, G-Market Jay. I was vibing to that song.
Yeah, not bad at all. How we doing?
Yeah. Cool. Just before we get into it, Ryan, how have you been doing? Since Linear Market launch, I know it's been crazy. You've been on your screens almost every hour of the day, right? How's it been for you, really?
Very good. Yeah. Having a lot of really exciting conversations, trying to figure out how to make a bunch of noise when it's time to push to mainnet, and obviously getting a little bit more clarity on the specific features we need to push out that I'll hint on a little bit today. But everything's going really well. We pushed right back up to expected levels of activity after the maintenance. So yeah, really happy to see that.
Awesome. Linear markets, guys. We've been talking about it. I think that's the focus. Everyone knows that's the focus. If you're new here, linear markets is the focus, and linear markets is live, right? I think I would let Ryan talk a bit about the linear market, and then I'll put a banner that has the link, right, that you can try out linear markets. But yeah, Ryan, just a quick rundown of what we're doing here exactly, right? For someone that might be joining us for the first time,
Yeah. So we offer, the fastest prediction markets currently out there. So our fastest prediction market is 1 minute. We specifically offer them on things that have 24/7 coverage. So right now it's crypto assets. The first three we're using is Bitcoin, ETH, and Sol. We obviously have a roadmap to expand our assets well beyond just these three, but we have 9 markets running 6,600 markets every single day. So it's a pretty good idea of the level of activity you can manage, but it's super easy to understand. It's pari-mutuel. Pick a side. If that side wins, it splits the money from the other side proportionally. Simplest mechanics and simplest trading out there right now.
Yeah, awesome. And just to add to that, right? I think, and Ryan, you can also correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think anyone has been able to replicate 1 minute markets as effective as this, right? So it's super interesting to experience.
Exactly. Right?
Yeah. Awesome. So Ryan, first 4 weeks, right? Insane numbers, over 33,000 unique traders, about 9 million predictions. And just to give context, right, this was just in the first 4 weeks. We're in the 50, right? So these numbers have definitely increased, but 41.5 million GMI in total trading volume, about 3,000 USDC in prizes. How does it feel, right? Steady growth despite the maintenance. It's been growth steady. So
yeah, it's sick. I mean, when you think about the amount of activity we've seen, all of this is just a proof of concept to what we'd be able to handle, right? Like you have other major prediction market companies who are doing, between 1 to 1.5 million transactions a day in their crypto up-down markets. And we're already doing 600,000+ predictions. And this is all on our own L1, right? Fully on chain, fully decentralized, validators, et cetera. We can eventually have our whole plan for, season 1 of mainnet and those types of things. So, it puts us in a very good, state of mind when we can show that all of these predictions are on chain, right? We already have this ledger available to us that gives us the confidence to run these products with USDC, which would obviously be the first to market right now.
Yeah. Awesome. So for those that are joining competitions, right? Week 5 competition is live, right? So you could still definitely get a share of 1,000 USDC if end up in the top 10. The daily and weekly quests are still live. And Ryan, I was looking at the numbers just before the community hour, right? And it's almost 3 million predictions already in week 5, and it's over 17,000 active traders already. Right, and it's really exciting seeing the fact that week 5 competition is still definitely going to last for a couple more days, right? So there's definitely a high chance that we're going to see new highs, right, in terms of like activity this week.
Yeah, it definitely seems like, all of the network effects are kind of coming into play, right? The people who've been supporting Linera for a long time. Obviously, the more confidence they get in using the new app, the more confidence that they'll have to go out into their communities and, tell other people to give it a try. Obviously, everybody has an incentive to get points, right? A lot of you guys have been going for points for years, right? And it makes a lot of sense to now bring your friends and bring your other players in your communities in to start to get points the most effective way. Even this week, for example, right? Like you don't need to make too much GMIC to start to get some really significant points. So I think we're going to start to see reactivations. We're going to see a lot of those Linera community members who maybe hadn't had a chance to see the app just yet, but they've seen the pings, they've seen it start to become more stable, and obviously as the prizes start to become more intense and more exciting, and the points start to become more meaningful, and the activity continues to grow, I think we see this trend continue.
Yeah, and Ryan, I know this is definitely not part of the slide, right? But for people that might be asking, are we going to continue earning portal points like the same way? Is there going to be any changes, right? So Ryan, is there really any alpha that you could possibly just give to those that might be wondering, right? What might change in the next like few weeks, right, with regards to like Linera markets and earning points and things like that.
Yeah, in the next few weeks, I would say most things, if anything, you're going to see changes coming from quests and obviously new and unique different types of opportunities to get points. One, the gold quests will probably come a little bit harder, a little bit more worthwhile. The daily quests might see a little bit of an increase too. But overall, you're kind of in this steady state flow until we get tickets out. So now everything, and my focus, running the product, is to get this new feature live so that we can start to test the product with real money as quick as possible. Obviously, it's not a game. It's not meant to, be fake money forever. And obviously, the Linera protocol is meant to support, real USDC throughput. So in terms of what will happen when we flip that switch, yeah, there will definitely be a meaningful change to portal points coming. It will be a system that is very similar to a lot of other rollups into a live app, right? Obviously, we're aggregating points from multiple different campaigns over the years, and our goal is to now redirect all of that attention in like a much more cohesive and obviously balanced way. Like you need to readjust the path and everything like that to really give people a fair shot, especially when so much money and eventual TGE will be on the line.
Awesome. That's the alpha, guys. In case I hope you're all paying attention, right? In case you weren't listening, Ryan mentioned some very important stuff. Moving on, right, Ryan, I think a couple of people might be confused, what's going on, QR coin for, and I decided, I think we should talk about this.
Yeah. So I have so I'm an ex-base builder, right? I built Zed Champions, my last product on base, and I'm familiar with a lot of the talent on base, and I think base will probably be, I've mentioned this. Of our current Linera community, of the 13,000 of you guys that are making predictions every day, about 9,000 to 10,000 of you have all also been transacting on base. So I do know that most of you are already super familiar with base. I have great connections there. This little product, called QRcoin.fun, is built by this really talented guy, Jake, and it's a really fun idea, right? Like the QR code changes every single day to redirect to whichever website won the app. The auction for the previous day. So I said, fuck it, I'll give it a shot and, put a little bit of USDC down, support a, fellow builder who I respect and see if we can get some action from it. And then we did win. So the fun thing about winning is obviously that we get a bunch of free activity, some free eyes. There was a good spike in new user signups that I was pretty happy with. It's not something that's obviously a lasting campaign, just something I'm giving it a go, especially when I want to see, I of course expect the portal points people and all the Linera community members right now to continue to grind out the app and show up every single day and put that effort in. But all new users, it would also be really cool, to see how many we can convert and keep. That would be a great signal when we eventually start to make noise in a much bigger way.
Yeah, and I mean, I think one of the cool parts about it is it's kind of like a teaser for people in a different ecosystem to just get a quick feel for what Linera is. Linera markets is, right, and definitely they'll definitely still get more like involved in the app as we go forward, right? But yeah, awesome. Ryan, I really wanted us to kind of talk about this, right? And you made a tweet on the 6th of April, right? And I read it, and super exciting. Definitely, the numbers have increased from when you put out this tweet. But there was something that was kind of very interesting to me, right? Which you mentioned is about a USDC bridge, right? And
Yeah.
and I'm sure some people might be confused as to what's going on. A USDC bridge, what's that about? And yeah, so if you could tell us about that. Yeah.
So obviously, we will eventually need to have USDC bridged onto Linera functionally, right? Like we don't have native USDC. It's quite expensive to work with Circle to get that done, maybe in the future, right? But in the meantime, that means we need to build like a native permissionless bridge, right? Oftentimes, we might contract out like another company to build that infrastructure for us, but we decided that we had the talent to build it internally. So what we did is that we have completed that process. So we have a fully native permissionless bridge that we built out ourselves. We are getting pretty close to starting to run it actually on like a real testnet. So from base Sepolia to Linera testnet, we'll be able to have like those transactions fully on chain, see how it works. And now the next step is to push that into like a wrapper, right? Like what's the reason why you're bridging, right? You're not just bridging to bridge. It doesn't matter how cool the idea that we have our own bridge is. So what that is the ticket system. So I'm sure you might have a slide or two. I didn't know how quick you were able to put those in. But the idea is that eventually this native bridge, the way that we'll test it is to offer pay-to-enter competitions, right? The opportunity to get people into USDC, get it onto the Linera L1, purchase tickets to enter into competitions, and start to see some pretty cool prize pools.
Yeah, awesome. Ryan, I think if I could quickly just share like a slide from the tickets, right? Just to give more context, if you're open to me doing that on the call. Totally. Just yeah, okay, just 1 second. Okay, so I think this works.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
The idea with tickets, right, is that right now, once you have USDC on Linera, that's great. We can do that's fully mainnet ready, right? You can do USDC predictions, you can enter into competitions and pay, and we can do it all that way. But it's much more interesting and much more compelling to have this soft currency where you can buy tickets with USDC. They have atomic value. Let's say they're always worth $1, right? USD, right? So you take that $1, and then let's say a tournament costs you 5 tickets to enter. It's $5 going in. The prize pool is equal to the number of entrants versus the number of tickets that are in the actual competition. We run the competition. We have the leaderboard. It sorts by payout positions. And then that contract just automatically flushes back out the cash, paying out all of the participants. This is something that we could scale. We could have micro competitions, weeklies, daily, hourlies. It could be really exciting, very similar to what you see from, DraftKings and other competition style products. Now, why it also is exciting is because we can give these out as retention rewards, right? We can give free tickets to competitions. If you complete certain quests or challenges, maybe you win free tickets into different weekly competitions. It's like a very simple atomic unit, but it is extremely powerful once you really start to get it to work.
Awesome. Ryan, so I would bring you back to like the tweet you made, right? And definitely, guys, there's going to be a lot more information, coming up about like the tickets and how things are going to progress, right, from Ryan and officially in Discord, right? But Ryan, you mentioned something that I think a lot of people kind of like overlook, right? Which is the fact that Linera owns the infrastructure, right? And people might just think about that. And why do you think that sort of like separates Linera from the rest, right? You could have people just building prediction markets on an entirely different infrastructure, right? But Linera sort of owns everything in-house, right? Which is kind of awesome, right? Yeah. And why do you think that's such a big advantage here?
Well, it's a multi-leg moat, right? Like the idea is that one, you own the stack, right? So we never have to pay fees down to an infrastructure. For example, Polymarket pays tens of millions in fees to Polygon. Kalshi still has to use regulated banks and all that type of stuff. So for us owning all of the stack, we basically can redirect those fees back to the ecosystem, right? So if there are transactions that cost gas or anything like that on Linera, the fees from those could be redirected right to stakers of Linera, right? Or they could be redirected to app users, right? Now, additionally, once we actually start to make these decisions on how we're going to roll out mainnet, every single move we make in how we edit our infrastructure and how we prepare the L1 to handle throughput is designed specifically with the fact that we're going to horizontally scale these binary markets, right? So we know what we want from a design perspective. We want to be able to run 100,000 markets, right? We want to be able to run 15 markets up, down, right? There's no reason. There's plenty of precedent throughout the world, by the way. And, our listeners who might be in some of the markets where these products are still available, there is precedent for as short as 5-second up, down markets, right? Throughout. They are, from 5 seconds to 1 minute and extremely popular. And these are called binary options contracts. There's companies like IQ Option, Pocket Option throughout the world that do almost $1 billion in volume a day on this stuff. So this is not some new little thing. This isn't Polymarket didn't invent up-down markets. They've existed for a really long time. So the target market where we're really going after and where we're acutely aware of the opportunity is worth billions a day, right there in volume, not just this little cohort that you see Polymarket and Kalshi attracting right now.
Cool. Very, very exciting. Very exciting. Thank you so much, Ryan, for the update. So yeah, guys, some key updates, right? Like we mentioned in last week's community are, right, new wallet signing up, still get 100 GMIC, you still get a top up of 10 GMIC, right? And transferring GMIC is basically disabled. And quickly, Ryan, I don't think there's going to be any change in this structure in like the foreseeable future, right?
No, yeah. That first reset was really just because we had instituted some new rules around whether or not you're allowed to transfer GMIC or make new accounts and different types of. We're obviously auditing for people who are manipulating pools and lower periods of activity. We felt like we've kind of evened that slate now. So yeah, it's only been a week. All new wallets still get 100, 10 GMIC every single day. As you guys can see, if you go check out the leaderboard on the site, it's quite competitive, right? You can start with 100 and easily get deep into the leaderboard. So it's not too late. I haven't signed up already.
Yeah, and Ryan, just to mention one more thing, I think is kind of important, right? It's the fact that the competition is based on the activity for that week, right? So for someone that's sort of I lost like a lot of GMIC in the previous week, right? But you still get the chance to compete in that particular week because it's just based on the performance for that week, right? Totally. So
you could in theory totally blow up, right? Like let's say you got 100 GMIC to start. And in week one, you lost it. Well, every day you get 10. So you might say, okay, maybe I'm down bad this week, but maybe for next week, I might have a good shot. You can save that 10 GMIC if you wanted to, or be very less risky and do what you need to do to farm quests every day. And then that next week, once you've built up a little bit of a GMIC balance, then, you really start to trade and try to compete. So there's a bunch of options, right? I think the daily faucet of 10 GMIC really gives you a lot of flexibility. Even if you go hard 1 week, and blow up and maybe try too hard trying to get into the top 1%, at least you have enough GMIC to complete quests every week, which was kind of our goal, right?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, Ryan. So just to add to that before Ryan drops, the bonus point system, still remains the same. You still get 1,000 points for being a top 1%, 600, top 5%, top 20% get 350, and so on and so forth. And just to confirm, Ryan, the points for the previous week, for week 3 and week 4, or particularly week 4, has been distributed, right?
Yep, that's right. And if you have any issues with that or you see anything that doesn't look right, please feel free to text the Discord. But I did take a look with my team this morning, and they confirmed things were looking all right. And I reached out to a few specific tickets in Discord. So outside of that, any other issues, please feel free to let me know.
Awesome. So just a quick run through of the best practices before you drop, Ryan. First, ensure you bookmark the Linera Market and Portal websites. That's to ensure you're using like the safe website and you don't get maybe get redirected somewhere else. Ensure you use one active window while trading, or you understand the rounds, you understand the fact that you're placing your prediction in the next market window, right? You make sure you upload your trades, because I think that's very important, because that is what enables you to earn portal points, right? And then you ensure you use the same login method for the Linera Market and the portal, and a lot of key informations and the pinned messages in the main chat, right? So definitely check them out. And a lot of like the issues you might be facing already have sort of like a quick fix that you could just check out and use to help you get back to actively trading. But yeah, thank you so much, Ryan. Thank you for spending time with us. Hope to see you next week, where we'll definitely still have more amazing things to talk about. So
yeah, next week.
Thank you.
Next week, I'm hoping our head of BD, Nick, can join and go over some of the agentic work we're doing and some of the dashboards that we're using to make some informed decisions. Hope to see him next week. If not, as always, you'll see me. Thank you so much, Josiah. Thank you, Jules.
Yeah.
Next week.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah.
Bye.
Awesome. So yeah, guys. Back to the regular community details. So community advisor roles, like we always mention, still active, still available. You could still get those roles, and we always encourage you guys to keep contributing, right? And we're definitely still very much happy to have more community advisors who are core believers and very much integral part of the general community, the regional mods, newbie navigators, ambassadors, artisans, meme lord. Shout out to the meme queen, Miss Jules, game lords. Yes, so look forward to seeing more of you guys. Miss Jules, is there kind of like an update regarding the meme lord leaderboard?
Yep. Congrats to Anton, our winner for last week. I see you becoming meme lord soon, Anton. So cheers.
Yeah. Do you know what's funny? Anton is the same person that ended up like 11th place in our last tournament, and I was even going to talk about that Anton just got, he's on the 11th place leaderboard, right?
Oops.
But yeah, shout out to you, Anton. Regardless, regarding the game load leaderboard, shout out to Jason Carters, right, for winning last week's tournament. Shout out to you. Just to mention, so AA199 PM, Tong 9, Duong Jia, Remite 25, Illuminat Milos, you guys are just one win away from becoming game lord. So really rooting for you guys, and hopefully you guys get to win one of the tournaments in the coming weeks. Regional tournaments, still going on, very much active. You can still very much NXPs for joining regional tournaments in the various regions. Not a lot has changed yet, and if there's anything that's going to change, we're definitely going to, announce it here. But shout out to everyone in the various regions: Russia, Nigeria, India, Chinese, Vietnam, Indonesia, Ukraine, and Bangladesh. Shout out to you guys. And the price structure is still the same. You get to earn up to 1,000 XPs, which I think is pretty cool. And I think a lot of people have been able to really level up their chains by just joining the regional tournament, right? So definitely, check the regional tournaments out and participate. And it has really helped form, really close activity in our various local or regional channels. So Friday tournaments, still happening, same time, on Fridays, 12 p.m. UTC. I'll definitely, schedule the tournaments today, right? So I'll get the link out early enough for everyone to register and make sure that you're going to join the tournament. And like I always mention, right, prizes are still the same, 5,000 XP for the first place. And the first place here, in case you're new and you're wondering what's happening, right? So we host
I don't know, is it me or we lost Jay?
Can you hear me, Ms. Jules?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, awesome. So we host regional community tournaments, right, that happen in Discord, and you get the chance to become game lord by winning one of these tournaments. And beyond just becoming game lord, you get to win, up to 5,000 XP, right? So super awesome. Fridays, 12 p.m. UTC. Look forward to seeing, you guys join the tournaments. Yeah, so like we always do on the call, right? You get the chance to earn XPs, right? I think X is back, so YouTube is back, X is back, so StreamYard is fully up and running. So in case you comment on YouTube or you comment on X, that's total, or even on Twitch, That's totally fine. And the way it works is, for those that are new, the way it works is, I'll read the question. The first person that writes out the answer gets to receive 1,000 XPs, on the call. And yeah, so in the next slide, I'm not sure I'll be able to. I can still get the drum rolls. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Yeah. So yeah, guys, here's the question. How much in USDC prices has been distributed so far in linear market competitions? How much in USDC prices has been distributed so far in linear market competitions? Let me rush to the comments. So Ms. Jules, I don't know if we're saying the same thing, but I think we kind of already have an answer, right? I see 505 error, I see Remite 25, I see
Yeah,
Akios,
from
but I
my
think the
end, it's
first,
505 error.
yeah, 505,
That's
505
good.
error. Yeah. Shout out to you. That's correct, actually. And
Congrats.
yeah, I'm kind of okay. So why I was a bit confused is I think Juvio renamed his Discord to Error 707, and we have a 505 error. So kind
Yeah,
of
I don't
kind of a
know.
bit confused.
Juvia, if you're here right now, I don't know why you keep changing your name every week. I think it was something different last week. I'm finding it difficult to catch up with the names.
And I don't know why you guys using. Is there like a thing going on, Miss Jules? I don't know if I'm missing something, right? As to why
I
people are using
honestly
error
don't
in their
know.
name. But anyway, 505 error. Congrats, shout out to you. You get to receive, 1,000 XPs while we're on the call. Just a quick before we go forward, right? Good King said, I'm new watching live. So shout out to you, Good King. I think, Miss Jules, one thing we should probably do is maybe, when we start the community or in the course of the community, like people that are joining for the first time, we'll just have them, indicate that they're joining for the first time, right? And maybe we could have like an applause or something, right? for for those that might be joining for the first time. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. But anyway, Good King, shout out to you. Thank you for joining. Right, make our community hours happen same time every week. So make sure you join us. There's so much amazing information to talk about, and beyond all the serious stuff, right? The linear markets and all of that, which are very much important. We still, have a lot of fun on the community hours. Myself and Miss Jules, Ryan as well, right? And we talk about everything from memes to arts to posts, right? We give out XPs on the call. We tell you how you can earn XPs and how you can, make the most out of linear market. So yeah, definitely, join us next week again, and make sure you join the linear community as well. That's where you get to receive, a lot more updates. You get to interact with fellow linearians. If you have any issues, right, you can indicate in the Discord. So, and we're definitely we're definitely happy to help you. Jamie Rad says give new users 11 XP. Maybe actually. That might be fun. Anyway, shout out to 505 Error for answering the question. So to our creators, people that make amazing content for Linera and posting those amazing content, right? Shout out to you guys. We appreciate the work that you do, consistently for Linera. And this week's content challenge was beta testing be like. So breaking apps during, I think I should remove this now. Okay. So breaking apps during testnet really helps. It means fixes get done before launch and real money comes into play. We've been battle testing. The team has been busy debugging. It's exciting, frustrating, often chaotic, yet satisfying when our feedback leads to an improvement. So you're meant to create a post, art, or meme on this theme, and you submit all the content directly in Discord. Um, Miss Jules, there's like a message for you here just before we continue. He said his Discord is 505 error. So I don't know if you've
Yeah.
caught.
Yeah. Did I make a mistake? Hold on. Um, you can go on, Jay. Let me just quickly check. Oops. My bad.
to hide this. Okay. So guys, thank you for highlighting that 505 error, right? And yeah, thank you, Good King. Okay, so let's get into the content. There's a post, topic from Ambassador, social post or post in Discord, topics from Ambassador, Crypto Kesha, Lika Enigma, Monjaz, Nina, Rani, and Stitch, or Stitch, I believe. So I think there's a video. This is from New Era.
How is Linero Markets beta testing going? The Tiflero Markets beta testing is when we deliberately try to break the app to find all the weak points before launch and wiedergestern. Every bug we find now helps the team quickly fix it before real money is on the platform. We've been actively testing markets for several weeks now, checking the speed, stability, and usability of the interface in a variety of scenarios. The process is quite chaotic. Sometimes the app crashes unexpectedly, sometimes everything works perfectly. The development team is simultaneously debugging based on our feedback.
Cool.
That's
How
like a
is
quick
Linero
summary of
Markets
what's
beta
going
testing
on.
going? The Tiflero Markets
Yeah.
beta testing is when we
I'm trying to. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely, like you said, Ms. Jules. And I think one important point the New Era mentioned here, which I think I need to re-echo, is the fact that, it's like we always say, it's a testnet, right? The New Era market is still in beta. There's still a lot of improvements that will still happen, right? So at this stage, you're definitely expected to see, maybe a few errors here and there, right? And that's definitely why, we have the community and the team is definitely working around the clock to sort of make it a smooth experience. But what I'm definitely not going to get there without getting feedback, right? So thank you guys for playing. Thank you guys for also understanding that maybe it might break a couple of times, right? But that's definitely the point, to stress test and make sure once Linero Market is available to everyone else, it's a smooth experience. So thank you. This is from Nico, an ambassador. Beta testing be like break, fix, repeat. Beta testing isn't just about clicking buttons, it's high stakes crash testing. Definitely. Like we mentioned, break, fix, repeat. Awesome. From Nico. This is from Anton. Shout out to Anton. Engaging infographic, beta testing equal to controlled chaos. So you deploy, test, break, analyze, debug, fix, and improve. Real testing to real fixes before real money. I really like that phrase. Real testing to real
Can't wait for the
fixes
real
before
money
real money.
things.
Yeah, I get. I think it's going to be very funny, right? Once it's like actual, you get to use actual USDC, and I'm very, very, very excited to see like how that's going to pan out, right? And because right now I think it's very easy for me to, risk, properly, right? Because it's like, yeah, it's just GMAC, right? But it's going to be fun when it's USDC, and I'm really looking forward to it. Enigma
Nice
says,
infographics, Aton.
yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
I'm still seeing error 404. I think there's like a narrative around that. Someone said
Yeah,
that.
so yeah, error 404 is actually like an error message,
Yeah.
right? When something breaks, right? So it's the fact that you would still get to maybe encounter an error here or there, right? Whilst like you're
I'm
trying out
just
Sorry, Miss Jules.
No, I'm just wondering why, Juvoid chose to, change his display name to error 707. But it's cool. At least it sticks to memory and you can
Oh
easily
yeah,
remember.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Nguyen says, what a beautiful lecture. Miss Jules, apparently we're lecturers and it's beautiful. So you're welcome. Cookville, I think this is a video. Yeah. So you're meant to break the app and not break your computer, right? Not literally, guys, not literally, but better
Testing
testing, more
health
like better
cheat code.
testing.
Testing
Yeah,
health cheat code. I love that.
yeah. Testing health ship code. This is the year it's being pushed to its limits. Definitely, definitely. And it's always very interesting to see how like Linear's infrastructure has been able to like handle everything, right? Like it's at the moment it's almost about 10 million predictions. It's over
Hmm.
about as of just before the call, it's about 45 million GMAC in total volume, 66 thousand markets running like every day, I believe. Right. And it's just awesome. Right. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah.
From Nina, an ambassador, captures the raw intensity of beta testing, and also from Hawk, an ambassador. With linear markets, beta testing be like breaking apps during testing really helps. Fixes get done before launch. Real money comes into play. We've been battle testing. The team has been busy debugging. It's exciting, frustrating, often chaotic. Yet satisfying when our feedback list on improvement. Absolutely. Pressure testing a market that has to work in real time, chaos now, confidence at launch. Um, Hawk says not a demo, a stress test. Definitely. Not a controlled demo, not a curated preview, chaos with a
Chaos
purpose,
with a
every bug.
purpose.
Yeah. Every
That's a
bug found
that's
in
a funny
testnet.
slang.
Yeah.
Every bug found in testnet is a bug that won't exist at mainnet. I
A
love this.
minute. Yeah, yeah. Spot on. Spot
Right
on.
now,
So,
I've been experiencing a bug right from the first time I tried the linear market up until now.
oh,
I just want to
okay.
assume that maybe it's something that I'm not doing right, but no matter what I keep doing, it's just the same. Do you know that I've never predicted with the charts live, like I can't see the charts no
Ye-
matter. I can't
ye-
see the charts from my end. Like I've tried everything. I've tried my laptop, my phone, different network. Like I can't see there, but I
Yeah,
can predict quite all right. The 1 minute, the 3 minutes, and the 5 minute markets without seeing the charts, of course. So
yeah. I mean, I think that's something that like Ryan is also aware of, right? So it's kind of like some people in certain locations might not be able to get to see like some parts of the chart, right? But I think I think people have tried using a VPN and it has helped, right? So maybe that might be
okay.
something that you might just test to see, okay, does it work with a VPN or without, and to just provide more context for the team to help this. But definitely, things like this would get resolved for sure. I'm
Yeah,
positive.
sure. I'm going to try using the VPN and see how that plays out.
Cool, 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 cool. And next week, Miss Jules, would love to hear about like your week, your your past week, with linear market. If it was positive or it was, negative, right?
All I
So
can say is I'm just going to borrow this statement from Hawk. Like it's been chaos with a purpose. And
oh my
no
God.
comments,
Uh,
guys. No comments.
Good King says, I've been having difficulty connecting to linear market. It just says connecting to network. So I don't know if that's your first time connecting, right? But typically, what I've noticed is if you're connecting, say, like for the first time in a particular day, or you haven't connected in a while, right? It takes a while for you to get the pop up in your wallet. And what I would also advise is, manually open your wallet to check if there's a pop up and confirm the transaction or to sign the sign message, because that has happened to me a couple of times and I didn't get to see the sign message because there was no visible pop-up. I had to open like my wallet to confirm. So that might be something to help you. And also, like we always mention, a lot of quick fixes are in the pinned messages in the main chat. So please do well to check it out, and that would definitely help you. So yeah, thank you, Good King, for letting us know. So yeah, back to the post. This is from Crested Cape and Anomalia. I think that's Mox fixing, fixing things that have broken. Chaos and progress. Every bug we find now is one less problem at launch. Definitely.
Anomalia says beta testing be like break it now, fix it before launch. The best feeling is when your feedback actually leads to a fix. Yes, guys, let us know your feedback. And I've been seeing a lot of positive feedback about how linear markets can be very addictive, and you don't know when you've spent like hours, and that's definitely cool. This is from Miretu, who is an ambassador, OX.Kong and KK. Overall, comparing how it was a month ago to now, it's clearly night and day. Absolutely. All this breaking now means the platform will be rock solid when real money flows in. 100% total satisfaction when your feedback leads to a breakthrough. Battle tested and rewards. Awesome, exciting new features, frustrating edge cases, pure chaotic energy, breakthrough moment. Amazing. And I think there's a comment here that I really like to highlight, which is the fact that if you've tried out linear markets like the first time it launched and now, like, you could definitely see such an amazing like difference, right? Even with like the user experience, right? Like some amazing front-end updates. It feels a lot more engaging. There are like weekly, fixes, issues and things like that. So it's been sort of like an amazing experience, definitely. And it's only going to get better for sure. Sinu, an ambassador. Sometimes frustrating, but the system gets stronger with each fix. Real products get built like this.
Crash detected. Initiating fixes. Fixing. Errors resolved. Launch imminent. Verified. Let's go.
I can imagine that's Matthew and like the rest of the devs, right? all through the day, working hard to give us an amazing experience. Cool. So arts topics from artisans, Alishka, Daria, Com, or KOM, Krava, and Ohim. So this from Grandpart, multitasking, says Daria.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh,
god.
this is beautiful and funny. It looks
Oh my god,
hand-drawn.
yeah, I think so. This is something, that might be fun for like the devs to see, which is like, you're fixing a bug, you're trying to make improvements, you're fixing errors, you're working on updates. That's
Nice
so
one,
cool.
gang parts.
Yeah, awesome stuff, Grandpa. Redoxy and Anton, linear better testing be like linear. Interesting presentation of the drawing. Classes, Anton's art is beautifully detailed. More bugs, more fixes, better system. Definitely. Mox is doing all the work, and I'm very, very much excited. Hopefully we're going to have like Nick next week where we'll get to talk about like what's up with Mox. A lot of people have just been seeing Mox in like art and things like that, but I'm happy for us to get a lot more context into what's the future of Mox and a lot of the possible agentic stuff that might be happening, will be happening on Linear. So awesome. This is from Moby, Chaos vs Control, project beta battle, Chaos vs Control. Awesome. I really like this art, by the way. I like the fact that it has like screenshots from the actual, linear market application. Awesome stuff. By Cuckoo Killer, Bug Knockout. Yeah, I like this. Definitely nice on Mox. And yeah, that's what the dev team is doing, right? Knocking out all the bugs and making sure everyone has an amazing experience. Cool. This is from Anna. Anna and Akios. KOM says nice handmade. Oh, okay. And Daria says creative Mox samurai. Awesome stuff. I never knew I would see a Mox samurai with a beta testing be like sword and like flowers and like a sword hairpin. I think that's what it's called. That's cool. And like an armor. Awesome stuff, Akios. So 505 error, Sahil, beta testing be like, fixing the bug or catching the bug, I think. Awesome. And I really like this hand-drawn, work by Sahil. Great drawing, definitely. Shout out to you guys. Amazing stuff, amazing stuff. This is by OX.com, Vertex, Vadif, Kadwa, Aliska, Kingsman. Amazing art. Aliska says beautiful art. Ohim says Mox Bites Overload. Nice, 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 nice. I like the one with Mox and the sword, fighting the bugs. Cool. Cool stuff. Blue and Joss. Hand drawing says Ohim. Cool art says Aliska. Do not touch for beta testers only. Yes. Beta testers only right now. The focus is on linear markets and the beta testers. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I really like this one. Advisors mods team. Cool, cool, cool. Awesome, awesome art. Novelty top pick. Hopefully, see some amazing novelty picks. This is from Bavan. I think this is our intro song. Is it? Oh my God, this is 2 minutes. Oh my God, that's actually so cool.
Yeah,
That's so cool. Yeah, I
nice.
mean, if I think right now we have like a couple of options for like our intro song for the community hour, and I think a shorter version of this would actually be nice to maybe rotate as one of our intro songs. But and also shout out to Bavan. Bavan's rap is what we used as the intro music for today's call, and it's super cool. So shout out to you, Bavan. You're doing amazing. Quick one, DC. Definitely, you will feature your art a lot of times, and you make amazing art, and definitely keep making amazing art, and they definitely will get featured. Even if it's not this week, but subsequent community hours, right? So shout out to you, DC. You're awesome, and it. So keep making amazing art. Second novelty, Pacifier. I think we have a video here as well. Okay, this is shorter. Oh my God, I really like that sound. I really like it. Nice work, Pacifier. So quickly, because of time, memes. So Miss Jules, are you there?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Shout out to Meme Lords, Bear One, Illuminati Milos, to 911, Mash Shader, Bula BTC Canal, and Sian. Thank you guys so much for reviewing the meme and selecting the best of the best. So let's go.
Cool.
Drop your ratings, guys. 1 to 10, 0, 1, 9, 2, 8, 5, 0.5 minus 10 for you, whatever it is. Just drop it down in the comments section.
Yeah.
So first meme by 0x Dokong Trando. Sorry. My beta test product has many bugs. You find them and we'll fix them immediately. We are very professional.
Is that meant to be like the team? I think.
A 6.5 for me. Nice one, Trando.
Yeah. Nice.
But
Chaos, I think this is a video.
Accused. It's a video.
रब्बा और सहाना चाहे कुछ तो बोल 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 रब्बा किस्मत के दरवाजे अब तो खोल खोल खोल
Yeah, that's actually funny.
Relatable.
That's actually
Nice
funny.
one, Accused.
That's one Achilles. I'll say that's like a 7. That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
From Kadua. Beta testing be like betting fail, bet not on betting history, claiming chain problems, error uploading trade, synchronizing chain problems. This is fine. Everything is fine. Yeah. In the midst
Yeah,
of
it's
it
all fine,
all,
guys.
everything is fine.
It's all fine. It's all
We're
fine.
testing the app, so all due respect, so it's
Yeah.
fine. But I think this after the upgrade, the app is running way more smoothly than it was last week.
Yeah,
From my own
definitely.
experience, yeah.
Definitely. And I think it gets better every week, right? Like, every week it's smoother experience for me, right? So definitely. And it's fine for you to have errors, right? It's a beta. Cool.
Yeah, but going global, guys. This is 8.5 for me. So
yeah, I'll say like a 9. That was nice.
From my meme lord, Johnny. Let's go.
Oh my God.
More like my reaction when I see greens. When I'm in positive, guys.
Oh my God. Yeah, this was me today because I had like a few winning like back-to-back trades, and after that, cool me. Yeah,
Nice
cool
one,
me, Jody. Also, I think I have another video.
Try on again.
Hmm? Can we play that one more time?
Yeah.
Hmm? I think I get it. So she's dreaming about linear markets, right? Because if you notice that she's sleeping, there's like a screenshot of linear market. And so he's snoring and it's waking her up from that dream. Right. So that was her trying to, shut him up and get back to dreaming about linear markets and like green and winning trades.
Actually, nice one. Trando.
It's like a 9. Yeah. Trando 9-7. Awesome. Funny.
From meme lord Canels. Beta testing be like synchronizing chain. And then winning plus 322 Gma. Oh, that's cool. That's fun. That's exciting.
I remember when I had like this issue, and one of the fixes that are in the pin chart helped, which was to clear, site data. So in case you're experiencing this synchronizing chain issue, there's content in the pin messages in the main chat that would really help you. So, but yeah, awesome. And okay, I'm wondering if someone ever takes 2G mic to to win 322. I'm not sure if this is real, but if whoever it is, if this is real, please, send me a message with your strategy. I'm very, very much curious to see what you did.
It's very real.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the person that made that post. Was it Anton?
Okay, let me go back to it. This,
Yeah. Yeah.
Canels.
No, like someone
Canels.
posted this. Like someone
Oh,
posted
okay.
this screenshot. The rightful owner of the screenshot, I guess. I'm trying to remember the person. I don't know if it was Anton. I can't really remember. But I think that was more of luck. That was more of luck. This is more of luck for him than
Yeah, but
yeah.
I'm trying to really imagine what the odds would look like, right? For you to sort of have like this is what like anyway. Great trade, whoever made that trade, right? Um,
Okay, next
yeah,
time.
so can you see the next slide, Miss Jules?
Yeah, sure. From Trandon, nice one. Claiming chain, no period found. Browser memory, Raya. So markets
So
prepare for mainnet.
yeah, Ryan is coming after all the bugs, guys.
Ryan is just crushing it. Ryan is moving with the speed of Linera right now, like the speed of microchains.
Yeah.
It's
Ryan
fast.
is real time. Oh, Ryan,
Yeah.
real time. Nice. I like the way that sounded. Right. I'll definitely, make sure Ryan sees this meme. Right. Very, very, very telling. Jebin Raj.
JB Raj, my meme lord. Lower, higher. User who made prediction with the entire portfolio on a single pool. I think that's previous trade where the person used 2G mic to make,
Yeah.
because I think that's like a single. So I think this is what JB Raj is trying to say. This is the user that made prediction with the entire portfolio on a single pool. And then me, he's the one. And then me who just predicted just 2G.
Oh my God, this is my meme of the week.
But the first, the user that made, I don't know if that was a mistake. I don't know if it's a bug, but the user that
Yeah.
made that prediction, I'm just wondering, how did he get the G mic in the first place? How did he get? Did he, like, I don't know, because if he had
How do you
gotten,
mean, Miss Jules?
imagine me putting 350 something G mic of my G mic tokens to win two G
Yeah.
mic, like just to win two. So for me to
No.
be able to,
Mm-hmm.
or am I not getting it correctly?
I
For me to be
think I
able to,
think
okay,
yeah. Go
go
ahead,
on.
Miss Jules. Finish what you're
I was
explaining
like, for me
before.
to be able to, be able to place such huge amount of GMIC token for that little odd. My question is, how
Mm-hmm.
did I get it in the first place? Was it not difficult for me to earn it? Did I, like, I'm just trying to think in that person's shoes right now. So
So I think first of all, I think it's not just one. I think it's not just one person, right? I think it's like a pool of so many other people that like put together their GMIC in that particular pool, right? And
I think that particular pool, I don't think so, because based on this meme now from JB Rush, I think that particular pool might just be a single person. That would be so funny if it's actually a single person you like.
yeah, but I mean, people have
But
a lot more than 300 GMIC, right? So way more than that, I think. A number of people
because
do.
looking at
So
this meme, that is what JB Raj is saying. User who made prediction with the
yeah.
entire portfolio on a single pool. And then me who predicted with just 2 marks. So he's actually referring to that, that prediction. Well,
Yeah.
I might be wrong though. So yeah.
Yeah. Regardless, great meme, Jebin, definitely.
Oh,
Miss Jules,
that's a meme lord.
before we continue, how like have you been able to hear me clearly, like throughout the
Yeah,
call?
sure.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Cool. Yeah, Miss Jules, do you want to talk to us about the
Yeah,
content
we're right
challenge
on
for?
time. Yeah, for next week challenge, I noticed that you guys have not been creating memes and I want to encourage you to create memes, and feel free to post your memes in the Linear Collective on X. If you're not there, feel free to join the community on X and post your memes there. So for next week content challenge, we have Linear Markets. That's 1 click. You don't have to be the top of the Linear Markets open beta leaderboard to experience an adrenaline rush. We all get that 1 click experience we will never forget. Was it a super satisfying win for you? Was it a risky bet that went bad, like that guy that, risked all his entire GMI portfolio? Or was it that study bug that killed your click? Or a fix that made that 1 click a special joy, like the guy that placed just 2 GMI to win that much GMI token in the end. So whatever it is for you, for your own experience, create a post out or meme that reflects this experience, and submit the content directly on Discord. So thank you, Jay. This has been an amazing section. I love it. I enjoyed every bit of it. And I love hosting the community hour with you. So yeah.
Thank you. Oh, that's nice. Thank you so much, Ms. Jules. Thank you. And happy to have you. Happy to always come back to the community hour, to talk to not just you, not just Ryan, but you guys. And thank you guys for showing up, right? I think this is like a brief 10 seconds appreciation, message. But thank you guys for always showing up. There are some OGs that keep showing up like every week, and we get to see your comments, right? Thank you guys. Thank you, Ms. Jules. And we'll see you guys next week. Yeah, never stop predicting. That's the word from Ms. Jules.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Join Linda first. Thank me later.